A Minecraft movie had a pretty strong hold at the box office during its second weekend, which was something I was personally curious about because I know it did really well during its opening weekend and it had a lot of viral reactions to it online throughout the week, but I wasn't sure if it was just going to be kind of a flash in the pan sort of thing and then just fizzle out, because you can look at the reaction to it on Rotten Tomatoes and obviously critics hated it, but that doesn't really matter. Audience reaction to it was decent enough, but at the same time, when you see stuff in like the 90s, that's when it's just a fantastic reception. This is kind of, I'm going to say mediocre. It's a good reaction. Don't get me wrong. 87% on Rotten Tomatoes is a good reaction for audiences, but it's nothing spectacular and it's nothing that you would usually expect to see for a $1 billion movie. And even though Minecraft still has a long way to go before it actually hits the $1 billion mark, if it in fact does hit the $1 billion mark, right now, though, it does look like it has a pretty strong box office going for it. A Minecraft movie blasts at $551 million global, and this is according to Deadline right here, which is pretty impressive after 2 weeks globally, making over $500 million. I even saw some headlines talking about how it surpassed Sonic 3 during its entire theatrical run, and that was a movie that was another success for the studio. So a Minecraft movie being able to break that in just 2 weeks is a good sign for it. Now, like I said, is this going to be enough to propel it to $1 billion? We don't know. Personally, I think it's going to end up just shy of that when all things are said and done. But still, I mean, this movie is already profitable right now. So I think that's something the filmmakers behind it in the studio are probably pretty happy about. The Chicken Jockey has galloped past the half-century mark at the global box office with a Minecraft movie at an estimated $550.6 million worldwide through today. Of that, $269.6 million is from overseas. During the sophomore session, the Warner Brothers legendary hit added $79.6 million from 76 international box office markets for a negative 42% hold, excluding China. Despite the current geopolitical discord, the movie was number one in that market on both Saturday and Sunday, and is in a tight race with the local title for the weekend win. So even overseas, the movie's doing pretty well, all things considered. Now, 42% drop during its second weekend internationally. That's actually not so bad that's pretty decent for something like this. Domestically, I saw that the box office hold was around, or I had like a 51% ish drop at the box office. Now, that's actually a pretty decent, or at least, I want to say it's a good hold. It's kind of an average hold for a box office for a movie, because generally speaking, if you have a box office drop of over 60%, then that means the movie, it's a pretty big drop, and that's pretty bad for the movie. If you have a box office drop of less than 40%, that's considered pretty good. So being in the 50% mark, it's basically just right in the middle, average hold for a movie like this, which that's one reason I'm thinking like it's not necessarily going to make $1 billion, but I still think the movie is going pretty strong. And like I said, it's already profitable for the studio after just 2 weeks. Now, something to compare this to that I think is kind of interesting, looking at the box office results for this, as I told you about the drop, during its second week, it brought in a little over $80 million. Now, to compare that to Super Mario Brothers, now, if you recall, Minecraft movie was able to beat out Super Mario Brothers domestically for its Friday through Sunday showings. It made like around $150 some million by the end of the weekend. It just barely beat out Super Mario Brothers, but during its second weekend, Mario Brothers had a stronger hold at the box office than a Minecraft movie. So I don't think it's going to catch Mario Brothers as far as being able to surpass its global box office return of $1.3 billion. But right now it already puts it at number 2 as the highest grossing video game adaptations of all time. So that's something that I think they can be proud of, even if they don't end up taking the number 1 spot. I mean, taking the number 2 spot in a metric like this, especially like I said, since they've already made profit on the movie, that's something that they can be happy about. And this is something that I think is the big takeaway when it comes to Hollywood movies, because I know a lot of people have pointed out and noticed this last year hasn't been going pretty well for Hollywood. This is the first big movie of the year that's actually profitable for the studio responsible for it. And I know some people would try to say like, oh, Captain America, Brave New World, that made money. And like, no, that they pretty much underreported what the budget was. And even after it was obvious that the movie wasn't going to be successful, then they started being a little bit more honest, and you start seeing outlets point out, it's like, oh, well, they said it was $180 million, but it's probably more than that. And it's like, yes, it's more than that. They lost money on that one. This is the first big movie of the year that actually is making money for its respective studio. Now, the question here is, what is Hollywood going to take away from all this? Because even though I personally enjoyed Minecraft and had a good time with it, I will be the first to admit that it was a dumb movie, and it's just kind of a key jangling movie. It's not supposed to be anything high. It's not supposed to promote higher thought or anything like that. It's just supposed to be a spectacle that you enjoy while you're watching it and just have fun with it. This kind of became a viral meme type movie, and that really did help it. But other than that, there's really nothing special about the movie. It just kind of captured lightning in a bottle and people are having fun with it. Now, that's not something that Hollywood could just recreate. I think what they're going to take away from this is, or at least one of the lessons that they might take away from this is, we need bigger IPs, because one thing about Minecraft is it's such a huge IP with a lot of active players to it that maybe it doesn't even have to be good. Because I've even said this in the past, that is so long as just a fraction of the people go out to watch the movie in theaters with the budget that they had for it, it's going to be profitable. And maybe their studios are going to take a look at that and see like, okay, well, we can just mine IPs with huge fan bases, and as long as a fraction of them go out and see it, then that's going to be profitable for us. But I don't think that's the right lesson to be learned from this, because we've seen that time and time again with major IPs. The Marvel movies, I think, are a prime example that had a huge fan base that fell off because they weren't producing good movies. It was a gradual decline, but right now it's pretty much in full effect, where all the movies that they put out, they're spending so much money in order to produce them, they're not profitable for the studio. And then we've also seen that with Star Wars as well, where that was a major IP that kind of fell off all at once because of just how bad The Last Jedi was. And then after that, the only thing that was profitable was The Rise of Skywalker. And that's just because some people are willing to stick out the trilogy, but every other movie that they've released since then has kind of fallen off. Not sure what The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to do, because they kind of revitalized it a little bit with their Disney Plus series, but I'm not expecting a whole lot out of that one. So you can't really hang your hat on trying to make or just adapt major IPs and expect that's going to be enough to carry, because I think more times than not, you're just going to, if you're not going to do something faithful to the source material or not trying to appease the fan base, then you're just going to have another big budget flop on your hand. So one thing that we can learn from Minecraft, it's not necessarily just make a meme of your movie. It's basically make something that is trying to stay true to the source material, or at the very least, try to do something that you think the fans would like. And that's something that people have criticized the Minecraft movie about, is that they're saying it's just fan service. That's all they're trying to do, is just trying to please the fans. And I was thinking, like, well, is that really such a bad thing? Is it a terrible thing that movie studios are going to try to mine an IP and they're not necessarily going to be making something for broad universal appeal? They're just trying to make something like, okay, this has a big fan base that's very dedicated to it. Let's make something specifically for this niche. And if a fraction of them watch it and enjoy it, then that's going to be enough for us to be profitable. I think that's something that they probably should take away from this. Now, on the other hand of that, there's a lot of people who hated the Minecraft movie. And as I said before, I understand that, because objectively, it's not necessarily a good movie. And could they have made a Minecraft movie, stayed true to the source material, made something for the fans and something that's also a good movie? Yeah, 100% you could do that. It'd be very difficult, but I imagine that anything is possible. And I don't see why they couldn't have done that. And I personally would have preferred them to do something like that. But for what we got, I think it was fine. And if studios just take one lesson away from all this, it should just be, when you're adapting an IP with a devout fan base, then make something that those fans would like, hire people to work on it who are actually fans of the source material. And that's at least a good start. What you don't want to do is hire people who just want to use the IP as a platform in order to push their own agenda, or people who don't like that fan base but want to do something to try to subvert them. That's the worst thing that you should do. And maybe Hollywood will learn that lesson from this, but with the way things have gone in the last several years, I'm not going to hold out pretty much for that happening. But, you know, miracles can occur. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Why do you think Minecraft is so successful? Do you think it literally is just because the meme factor of it and they just captured lightning in a bottle and there's no way you can replicate this? Or do you think it is because they were trying to do something that the fans would like, and as a result, they're rewarding them? Comment below, and also if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.